ENT 110 students, hi, Catherine Robertson here. Just a quick update this week, a little late on this week 6 video. Most of you seem to have found your footing okay on week 6. Week 6 goes into chapters 11 and 12. I put hopefully informative videos up there for you. There are 4 video links with some refreshing takes from Simon Sinek. So there are 4 videos there for you. If you have not yet watched, please review those to help get you in the mode for, or get you in the mode to think about a business idea if you haven't already come up with one. There's also then a 5th video, writing a business plan, and it kind of goes in depth as to how you might want to think about your business plan. So I will quickly go through chapters 11 and 12. There is an 11 and 12 homework assignment. I want to make sure, I have mentioned the business plan outline project, I believe before, but I wanted to make sure that I went over it one other time. So that is here in week 6. Those of you that have not reviewed it yet, we are just coming up with an outline. This class is really a precursor for business plan development and other types of ENT classes. And so in this course, what we see is, the project that I have for you really is to think about 4 specific areas. Now, this business plan final outline shows multiple things in here. It shows 7 different areas really that you could focus. Our business plan outline is only going to have about 4 sections. But this is just kind of an idea of some of the sections and a synopsis of really of what the sections entail. And so your job is to, when you're thinking about writing a business plan, think 3 to 5 years out. And again, we are thinking about an outline, coming up with an idea. We've done a lot of we've read a lot of different things, done some different homework, assignments, discussion posts to try to get you in the mode, talking to an entrepreneur to get you in the mode of thinking about idea generation and then really operationalize that idea into something that could be a possible business venture. So there is a business plan here, the bplans.com. There are some sample business plans there. Also, the Small Business Administration is a federal website, and the SBDC is a local website. Those are 2 sites that I think I have those original links for you up in the course-specific content. So in the course-specific content, when you scroll back through there, what you will see are a few different things. You will see some writing resources from Purdue, which is the APA helper. There's a link there to the Small Business Development Center, which is our local center housed on State Street. There are 8 across the state. They are typically in government buildings or colleges and universities. Ours happens to be at Gannon. And it's a nonprofit. They give you free help about writing a business plan. So if you, in fact, do have an idea that you are wishing to develop into a actual business, that would be a great center for coaching. We also have business plan development as a course here and several other ENT courses that are really tailored to those folks that are interested in getting up and running very, very soon. So there's a business plan, a couple different templates here, and a few things to think about when we're thinking about. There's a deluxe business plan and then a more simple business plan. Now in week 6, as you see, the discussion post really is the generation of the idea, and so using one of the ideas that you have generated earlier in your life, or possibly in this fall term, or maybe come up with a new business idea. Maybe you've thought of some things throughout this term, and formulate a rough idea using sentences or bullet points. And this is what is going to lead to your final business plan outline. So you're going to come up with, of those business plan project numbers, there are 4 that we are interested the most in, and that is really where you are going to center your project around. And this is a 2 to 3 page, or really a 2-page project, but you're going to discuss those at length. Remember, this is an outline for what your idea is, and really it's to give you like some goals for your business plan for other courses, or just getting you thinking in that entrepreneurial spirit. All right, so the discussion post, which will lead to the final business plan outline project has 4 different areas. And so in those 4 different areas, the executive summary, you'll see an example in the business plan outline project paper or assignment paper, company description, service or product line, and then market analysis. So you don't need to get into the financial parts of things. Really, it's thinking about what's the makeup of your company? What's the kind of the description? What do they plan to do? What's their niche? Service or product line, and then do a market analysis, basically looking at, is there room in the marketplace? Is there current competition? A lot of competition? No competition? Does there seem to be some sort of target audience that you can focus on that needs or wants your product? So that is really what your discussion 4 is. Now, back to the 2 chapters for this week. What you will see in chapter 11, this is where we really kick off, those of you that have already reviewed chapter 11, we really kick off this idea of the business plan, or the business model and the plan. There are 4 sections here, and the first section starts to think about, this idea of avoid the field of dreams. And this is one of the reasons that in chapter 11 that, kind of goes over a couple of the pitfalls as well as a couple of the success pathways or successful endeavor roads. And so thinking about this idea of avoid the field of dreams, it's really think about planning. It's not field of dreams is build it, they will come. That is not typically how it works. Just because you have an idea that you love or something that you think is interesting does not mean that there is a market for it. Does not mean that people need it. So really it's this idea of testing the market, finding out what it needs or what opportunities lie out there, and then building that. So kind of working backwards. So then we see a few examples of that in chapter 11, some specific ideas, and then some examples. So, looking at established markets and maybe going the next step. Chapter 11 talks a lot about this idea of disruptive innovation and kind of coming up with something completely new, like the Netflix business model of mailing discs to you versus you going places and having things in the queue and avoiding late fees. And so Netflix did a great job of kind of jumping into that marketplace. There are a few business plan model ideas. In slide 15 and 16, you will see some ideas of how, as you move forward, again, we are not going to get that in depth in this course, but in upcoming courses, you can get more into depth into how some of these ideas come to fruition. Now, these are also things if you are working for a small business or helping grow a business or work for a larger company, that you are continually honing these processes from the startup till you keep moving forward. For example, in chapter 11.9, as you're thinking of new products. So you may have a current business, but maybe you are trying to expand into other business markets. So it's a similar tactic of thinking about what the customer needs, listen to the customer, hear what the customer is saying. Those ideas really are, what we consider when we consider either starting a business or adding new product lines to our business that already exist. In slide 25, we look at this organizational feasibility focus, and we kind of talk about resource needs and management capabilities. And so, thinking about our idea, is it something that's going to cost a lot of money to get off the ground? And do we have the organizational know-how to really get the idea off the ground? So the key things are, do we have the financial capabilities, the cash flow? Can we project some sort of revenue stream that's going to be happening? Do we have the organizational know-how? And then finally, is there, what is the market and what are the forces that are coming? If we think about Porter's 5 forces from an earlier chapter, what are some of the things that are pushing down or, maybe elevating the marketplace in a certain area, the area that you are interested in? Like, what are some of the forces that are affecting outcomes in that, in your industry? So things to think about as you move forward. There are several examples of different types of strategies, and so go through. There is a industry analysis and market strategy for a company called La Vida Lola, and so then you can look through, and it gives you a fairly in-depth and slide. Let's see, starting off with slide 36, it starts to talk about the different areas and gives you examples of those things. Talks about the concept, the market advantage, what this company has to offer, this food truck company, some of the marketing, things that you aren't necessarily going to need, like how much money you're going to need for startup. Business description, so there's a great example there on slide 38 of a business description if you are looking for something to kind of write your rough draft. And so remember, discussion 4 is really thinking about and writing your rough draft. So there are quite a few examples there in chapter 11. And so go through chapter 11, use some of the examples that are listed to help you kind of move forward and come up with an idea and come up with some of those key components like an executive summary and company description. In chapter 12, we get a little bit more in depth talking about building networks and foundations and your startup team, who's going to be part of your organizational plan and your startup team, and what kind of group. Are you going to have a small network? And, how are you going to expand? Once you have your idea, are you going to be able to, in chapter 12, slide 5, are you going to be, who are you going to talk to about your idea? You're at a great place being on campus, but, there are other outside ideas. So on campus, you have access to all the students in your class, you have access to staff, and you have really this ripple effect of folks that you can be in contact with that can help, be part of kind of your focus group, but also then can help get your product, through word of mouth and social networking, get that product out into the hands of folks. And so take a look at some of those examples as to different groups that you can use to help get the word out about your product. Because you're going to remember, once you come up with an idea, then you have to figure out how do we get it into the hands and get market saturation or kind of get market penetration with our product. So chapter 12 really kind of goes into developing your team and thinking about how, what players you need and how, for instance, if one player or one teammate lacks lacks a certain area of expertise, then maybe you have another teammate that is really their focus area. So the teammates fit together, whether you have 3 teammates or maybe you have 10 folks or 11 folks that are working on your startup idea. So take a look at chapters 11 and 12, review those 5 short videos there, take a look at this focusing on your business idea. And next week in week 7, really, that is our last material, and we'll really then take week 8 to focus on, and there's some entrepreneurial videos. If you feel like working ahead, you absolutely could do that. There's a Kevin Plank video. This is Under Armour, the entrepreneur behind that. Howard Schultz, his top 10 rules for success. Great video, talks about business focus. And then we kind of go back to chapter 3, but chapter 3 and 15 then are up there. Those are the last chapters for the course. So during week 8, you will have that time then to work on your final exam, work on your final project, and then add your 5th discussion post, which is really a small PowerPoint that outlines your project. And again, your outline of your project can be in chunked form. I'm looking for, really 1 to 2 pages of just what are those 4 main areas that you answer in the discussion post. So as we get down to the wire, if you are looking at, I will put a video out reviewing chapters 3 and 15, but if you are working ahead and you feel that you can start to work on those, absolutely, those are available to you. As always, reach out to me with any questions. You can reach me at 814-490-6473. Shoot me a text there or shoot me an email, crobertson@ec3pa.org. But we are in the final stretch, folks, and I am very excited for you. Some great work this term. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you soon.